Okay, everybody, welcome back. And I know you guys are appreciating the fact that we brought this show back during the week of Juneteenth. I mean, obviously we didn't do that on purpose, but at least it gives us something to celebrate. Here's what we have coming up for you today. First and foremost, it turns out that Jon Stewart, he's a Candace. Unexpectedly, he showed me on his show the other day. We also have Miss Alabama. Yeah, obviously you saw the news. We have to talk about that. She is, in fact, clinically obese, and I have some things to say about that. And Nikki Haley is still clinically psychopathic. But first, I want to talk about a clip of Tucker Carlson that's been going around and has some people outraged. All that coming up on Candace.
Oh my gosh, I'm so happy that Candace is finally back. First of all, welcome back, Candace. We missed you. I missed you so much. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's your girl Verimo, and I'm back with another reaction video. Today I'm going to be reacting to Candace Owens, and we have the real reason my show was cancelled. The real reason my show was cancelled, Candace Show episode 2. I wonder why they would cancel Candace Show. I knew she was still gonna tell us the reason. You know, she did a live. She went live on Twitter saying some things. But let's see this one. But before we get started, we have some amazing people watching us for the first time. If you're new to the channel, hello, I'm Vera. I do reaction videos. It is something that you love. Why not join Vera City? Hit the subscribe button below, turn on the post notification bell so that you can always be the first person to know whenever a new video drops. And that's, guys, let's go.
Okay, so there are a lot of topics that we kind of have to cover in the retrospect. And I know one thing that you guys have been hitting me up about is the fact that I converted to the Catholic faith. Candace, why? Candace, yay. Candace, nay. I'm not going to get into all of that right now because there is so much that I want to say, and I am still very much on a journey and I am still learning. But one piece of it that was very compelling for me was that my husband, early on, obviously when we got married, and I was questioning him about his Catholic faith, said to me, you know, to become a student of history means to become a Catholic. I didn't know what he meant by that. I thought it sounded ridiculous. I thought it sounded very highbrow and English, so to speak, and that's why I married him, because he's very highbrow and English. But I didn't really start to understand what he meant. And by the way, my husband was also a convert. He grew up in the Anglican church. I didn't understand what he meant until I started studying real American history, is what I should say. What we learn in school is just so basic. It is so untrue. And when you actually begin to pursue true knowledge and to read books, not the ones that were mandated to you by the public education system, it sort of blows your mind how little you know. America in particular, we really are a unique nation for many reasons. And now it is my belief that we are an extreme psychological experiment that has been going on for a very long time. Think of America as mass formation psychosis. Now, obviously, you know that term from COVID. It began trending, trying to comprehend how it was that so many people did seem to just fall into this psychosis. You had people running around that were scared to see people breathing. Never forget that. You should never pause. You should always pause, rather, and reflect on how tremendously insane it was. There's a couple of years in America, a couple of years ago, people were walking around seeing children that were breathing and they were upset. They were like, where's your mask? How are you breathing? We had the pads on the floor. Remember when we went to the grocery store, every 6 feet, and people were stepping on the pads, and God forbid you forgot the rice, which was 6 feet ago. And you go, oh, can I turn around? And then the person behind you is like, no, don't you dare. You're going to have to go all the way around the grocery store pads and come back if you forgot something, because God forbid you breathe on me. That's what we're talking about when we say mass formation psychosis. The media was able to do this. And I want to be clear, they've been doing this for a very long time. And it wasn't always just about illnesses. It wasn't always about getting people to submit their bodies for another vaccine, even though that is one compelling piece of it. But it was also about topics like religion. Faith. You know, recently, Tucker Carlson joined Joe Rogan for an amazing sit down. If you haven't seen it, you definitely should. One of the reasons I love Tucker is because he's a bit like me in that when you listen to his show, it is like he's just talking to his friends. He has questions. He's asking questions. He's willing to, I guess, fall away from the mainstream narrative, and the mainstream media members hate him for that. They hate him for suggesting that they are lying to us all the time, because they are. But he said something really compelling when he was speaking to Joe Rogan, and I want to show you what he said, and I want you to really think hard on it. Take a listen.
I'll be specific. August 1945, when we dropped the atom bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, and all of a sudden the West is just officially secular. We're God. There is no God but us. And that's the world that we have grown up in, but that's an anomaly. Like, no one else has ever thought that. There's never been a society that thought that. Every other society has assumed, and they've had all kinds of different explanations, and the details differ, but the core idea does not differ, and never has differed from caves until now, that we're being acted on by spiritual forces at all times.
We are being acted on by spiritual forces at all times. And he is correct. Following the dropping of the atomic bomb, suddenly the West completely changed, and we became unique. We became an anomaly in the belief that, no, we're the gods now. No. Science is where it's at. Spiritualism, no way. Faith, no way. Well, let me ask you a question. What if the people that gave us that idea very much understood that it was a lie? If it was a psychological effort to make you believe that this was it, that there was no higher power, that there was no such thing as a spirit, well, then it would allow them to impact your spirit repeatedly. I believe very much, I know very much, that your eyes and your ears are the window to your soul. You have a soul. And if you are listening to dark music, if you are watching things like pornography or watching violent films, it is impacting your spirit. And the people that introduced those things definitely are aware of that. So basically, the greatest trick the devil ever played was convincing people that he didn't exist, convincing people that God didn't exist, and maybe we are actually being acted upon by people that worship Satan, people that actually are devilish. You know, when I think about...
Wow, this is really serious. I am a Christian, and I believe that God exists. I believe that Christ is King. I still can't understand why she will be cancelled because she said Christ is King. I believe Christ is King. Jesus is Lord. I am a Christian, and everywhere I go, I always portray it. And what she said is true. This world is ruled by the devil. Most of these celebrities, most of these artists, most of these big names, they're operating under demonic coverings. And so they want everyone to start worshiping the devil like they are doing. And that's not just possible. It is not possible. And so when you refuse, what they do is they come after you. They go after you. It is just crazy.
What I was hitting upon on my old show that caused this mass media panic, that caused them to try to really effectively cancel Candace, I realized that I was talking a lot about, well, psychology and government. I was talking about Sigmund Freud, the father of modern psychology, who was in fact a pervert who protected child rapists. I was discussing, as we hit upon yesterday, Magnus Hirschfeld, the creator of transsexual ideology, which, you know, was left off the table, and I was lied upon. No, she was talking about Adolf Hitler. No, I'm talking about psychologists. I was also talking about the Diddy lawsuit. It was a very fascinating lawsuit because he was talking about the person who sued him, Hollywood, and how it operates. And it very heavily implied that the government is controlling Hollywood, that there's some sort of a gang that is controlling Hollywood. And they freaked out about that. Absolutely. You can't even talk about that. Why is that?
Wow.
And then it sort of reminded me in these conversations that I was having offline with Ye when all that stuff was going down. He was saying things to me that I just could not compute. You know, he was talking to me about everybody having a handler in Hollywood, you know. He was calling people the ops, you know, this person is in with the government. And he notoriously said that Diddy was a Fed. He said that publicly. Diddy's a Fed. Diddy's a Fed. And everyone was like, Kanye's crazy. And now we're looking at this lawsuit and we're going, okay, wait a second. Clearly, Diddy was being protected by the government. Clearly, Diddy had a person he could call who would just clean up a mess if he shot someone, which the person in the lawsuit is alleging that he did. and that he was able to get it cleaned up and was able to get the media to lie about what actually took place at his studio. Again, those are allegations, but they are of some interest. And they're of more interest to me than ever before. Now, you may have recently seen me promoting this book, Chaos. To show it to you here, just so you guys know, this was just sent to me on my birthday this year by my friends, and I had no idea what I was getting into. Honestly, you guys, my brain is melted. I don't know what is what in American society, but I do know that the people in our government are in fact evil. It is called Chaos, and the subheading is Charles Manson, the CIA, and the Secret History of the 60s. It was written by Tom O'Neill, and I'm going to very briefly tell you how the story sets up because it's impressive. You get this guy, he's about to turn 40 years old, and his editor comes at him. He's a writer for Premiere magazine in Los Angeles or in Hollywood, and he says, hey, it's going to be the 30-year anniversary of the Manson murders, which forever changed Hollywood. Notoriously, it was believed that it ended the hippies era. The murders were so brutal and so disgusting and so jarring and so shocking that all of those hippie communes that were all over and everyone wanted to drop out of college and become a hippie automatically ended. People were suddenly buying locks and saying, okay, no, actually, we can't live freely. It's not about love and rock and roll. We need to protect our families. Nobody was experimenting with LSD anymore. And so he gets this assignment from his editor, and Tom O'Neill is like, come on, it's been 30 years. What am I going to tap into here that hasn't already been said? And he starts making some calls, and he's kind of struck by the fact that people seem almost scared to talk to him. I'm going to tell you that you will not be able to put this book down. Chaos is exactly what it is. He ends up realizing that everything the public learned about those murders was a lie. He ends up discovering that the CIA was involved. He ends up discovering that the CIA knew Charles Manson. He ends up discovering that Charles Manson himself was a Fed. Charles Manson was experimenting on behalf of the government with LSD. Intentionally drugging people, that our government was obsessed with how to create how to control a mind, rather, how to create a mass psychosis. And they were conducting all sorts of illicit experiments on the American people, drugging people that worked at the CIA. This also brings us to MKUltra. We have discussed this before.
Oh my gosh, I love how Candace is exposing these people. They are drugging people that work in the CIA. Is this real? Like, the CIA, really? Like, it's like, we can't even trust anybody at this point. Who can we trust? We don't even know who to trust anymore. Even the government itself is corrupt. The system is corrupt. No wonder they are coming for, gosh. You know, the idea that the government is involved in drugging people in an effort to control them. They say MKUltra ended. He talks all about MKUltra. Well, do you think it's ended? Me? No, I don't. Not after the things that Ye told me. Not after reading the text messages that were sent to him. Oh my gosh. I wish I can keep going on and on, but this is about 36 minutes long. Oh my goodness. Candace. Oh my God, my heart goes out to Candace, honestly. Like, this is a huge step. She coming out and revealing all of these secrets. My hope and my prayer is that you don't come for her, because firstly, because they already wanted to cancel her. They wanted to cancel Candace Owens. They stopped that show and all of that, you know, Daily Wire. But I'm glad, firstly, that she's back. And she's able to bounce back, you know, despite all the negativity. She didn't allow herself to be overwhelmed by all those things. And she actually came back. I love that for her. And my prayer is that they don't mess with her. They don't, you know, these people are wicked. They are dangerous. Look at all the things she said in this video. Look at all the things she mentioned. Even talking about Didi's case. Even the CIA. Hey, the CIA, they are not even left out. So many things are going on in this world. Are we even safe? What exactly is going on? This is so scary. Goodness. What do you guys think? What are your thoughts on this? What do you think about this video? Drop a comment down below. If you enjoyed this video, give it a huge thumbs up and please share this video. And if you're new to the channel, join Viewer City. Hit the subscribe button below, turn on the post notification bell so that you can always be the first person to know whenever a new video drops. And that's, guys, I'll see you in my next one. Bye, guys.